of a model of Herod's extravagant palace on top of the mountain, in fact, all of them. It included, amongst many of the things that Michal mentioned, 2 bathhouses and that large swimming pool that Michal mentioned. There's only one problem: where was he going to get the water from? Now, believe it or not, I know it rained today, so it's not correctly appropriate for the day. But we're in the middle of a desert, okay? If you look over here, Masada's here, in the area classified as desert in Israel, okay? And if, that's less than 100 mils of water, if you can just move it around and show it around. But Masada, this area itself, actually receives less than 40 millimeters of rain per year. So it's one of the 40 millimeters of rain per year, making it one of the driest places in Israel. Not the driest, but close to one of the driest places in Israel. So Herod and his engineers had a problem. Where were they going to get the water they needed to support everything on top of the mountain? The one system that Michal mentioned earlier wasn't enough and couldn't be relied on, especially if you wanted to support life for 2 or 3 years. So they had to look elsewhere. There are no springs nearby, so they couldn't consider traditional aqueduct technology. Okay, even if they did and there was a spring nearby, how were they going to get it to the top of the mountain? So it just wasn't an option. So they had to look to what was occurring here naturally. Okay, and 2 things that have been mentioned already. The one is sinkholes, not relevant, and the other one is flash floods, which we saw a little bit of a taste of, on the drive here with the water coming across the roads. Now, just to give you a better idea of what it looks like, I hope this is going to work. But there is, I'll just walk around here. You can see here. You can see water coming down the cliff. Okay, you can see the water coming down the cliff. Okay. So you can get an idea of how much water what can happen with a flash flood. In fact, while it looks all dramatic and everything, it's actually quite dangerous. And not far from Yet Safit in 2018, 10 teenagers went on a hike and died and were caught in the flash flood and died. So while it looks dramatic and it's nice to look at, it's actually very dangerous. So Herod's engineers realized that this was a possibility, that if they could harness and catch this water and store it, they would probably have enough water to survive the whole time, and that's exactly what they did. So what they did, is they built channels going across the mountain over here. You can call them aqueducts as well. And the idea was that it would catch the water coming across the face of the mountain and channel it towards the mountain. In fact, just over there, you can see they actually built a little aqueduct bridge going, and then they channeled it towards the mountain.
This mountain.
Which it would have been the mountains here. Channeled it to the sides of the mountain. Okay, so we're looking west.
That would have been west.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. So the water would have channeled itself to the sides of the mountains. Now, what they did then is they dug into the sides of the mountain. The top of the mountain is made of limestone. The sides of the mountain are made of chalk, so it's easy to quarry, just like at Murashah and Beit Guvrin. And I didn't think about it until you mentioned it, that Herod was from Edomia and would have been familiar with that sort of technology as well. But they built 2 rows of systems. The bottom row was 130 meters down from the top, and they built 4. Each one had a capacity of 4,000 cubic meters of water. Okay. The top one, which was 50 meters below the surface, had 8 systems, each one with a capacity of 3,000 cubic meters of water. Just to give you
40,000 or 4,000?
4,000, a total of 40,000. Just to give you a perspective, that's a human being over there standing in one of the tanks, in one of the systems.
It's a big system.
So it fed from underneath into the system?
Yeah, well, we'll see it. We actually look at it now as well. So that's what the systems look like. So let's have a look at how it actually works.
Give me some water.
Okay.
Is it cold?
You want to find out? Oh.
Can it? That's
Okay. So if you pour water as it was raining,
There you go.
you can see it flowing in there. Let me pour enough in the top one.
Keep pouring, keep pouring.
Keep pouring.
You want some water?
Just be generous.
Generous. Tequila.
Hey, look at that.
Look,
It's
see?
running around.
You can see it's running across and running across the top one.
And there it's drowning the Romans.
What they realize is that you can collect enough water in one day of a flash flood to support up to 1,000 people for 2 to 3 years.
Wow, really? Say it again. Say it again.
For how long?
Say it again.
Enough water could be captured in one flash flood to support up to 1,000 people for up to 2 to 3 years.
It's 40,000 kiloliters.
40,000 liters of cubic meters of water
Cubic
is
meters.
approximately 16 Olympic swimming pools.
Yeah.
In one flash flood.
One flash flood.
Okay, so
Amazing.
it's a lot of water. Now that's great. They've got all the water halfway up the mountain. How are they going to get it up?
Yes.
Okay.
It goes into the system, huh?
So the cisterns are halfway down. So what they did is two things. They built two pathways up. The one you can't see here, but came up towards where the cable car is, and the other one snaked up all the way to here, to what is known as the water gate, and that's exactly where we're standing now. And they used donkeys and mules and slaves, and they used to schlep the water up so Herod could have his bath and his paddle around in the pool. Who knows what? But
So it didn't push it. There was no
there
pump.
was no pumping system.
Okay.
Anything, nothing like that.
No pump.
Just a natural flow.
So if you have a look over here, just come look over here, you can actually see what the system
Una, dos,
on the side. Okay, I'll step back.